Hello everyone, this is Wayne, and today I'm gonna share some insights with you with this video presentation. So I'm gonna talk about IBDP theaters, one of my favorite component, which is solo theater piece. So as you know, it is only for the HL students and it holds 35% of weightage. So it is very important and a crucial component of IBDP submission, theater submissions. So I believe this video will give you clarity on what to expect in this task and how to approach this assessment task. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So I have divided this particular session into three parts. So the first part is all about the research part. Okay. So in this solo theater piece, you need to do a research. Now, research on what? Research on a theater theorist, which you have not studied before. Okay, so consider any theater theorist across the globe, select one, and start researching on that theater theorist. Now, when you're doing your research, you will come across different resources, and you'll come across different type of work that the theater theorist has done. You need to focus on the theory of that theater theorist which is published. Okay, so that is the first part. When you're doing research, think about what is the theater theory of that theorist. For example, if you're considering Zimi Motokyo, so his no theater theory you can consider. Now the second part is about selecting or identifying the aspects of the theory. So considering the key elements, the key features of the theory, the aspects of the theory, which is very important, and that drives your solo theater piece. And the third part, which is actually performing and creating your solo theater piece and performing it in front of the audience. Okay, now when I mean performing in front of the audience, it means practically applying the theory in the context of your theater theorist. Okay, I'll come to this point a bit later on how actually you're going to plan your performance. So as we scaffold solo theater piece, so considering it is your own performance, it is your own own work, where you do not have any collaboration with other peers, right? Your solo performance. Now there are two very essential aspects, very essential elements of this solo theater piece, which are considering the theater maker's intentions, the intentions which are very essential. So what were the theater theorists overarching intentions? So considering what were the intentions that a theater theorist has given, and when as a student, your theater maker intentions are also important, but it should be in alignment with the theorist's overarching intentions, which is very essential, right? uh, it could be, the it could be of a social context, or a theatrical, or psychological, or philosophical, or historical, or political, or be it any way, right? You need to consider in this particular context, etc. And you need to consider what is the purpose, basically, when you're creating this solo theater piece. So if you remember, we do brainstorming, right? Before we start with the process, we do the brainstorming. So when we do the research, and when it comes to the actual performance, so we do that identifying how exactly you need to approach to this performance. So the purpose is important, right? So considering this, intentions are important. And the second essential aspect, which is the audience in front of whom you are going to perform. Okay, so considering the classmates, or you can perform in front of the peers, or a dedicated live performance, you can create a poster and schedule a show for your audience when you're properly prepared. And then you can use you cannot afford to miss audience feedback, because your performance, whatever your performance you're doing, towards the end you need to take the feedback of the audience, because the response is very important, on which you're going to write your report as well. Now in your criteria, now considering this important aspect, you can choose different ways to collect the response from the audience, be it a survey, or you give feedback form to at the end of your performance. You can have a Google form link or a QR you can display outside your performance space, right? So these are some of the ways in which you can get the responses. Now, how you should approach this solo theater piece. Now you consider this is one of the fantastic component of DP theater, which gives you an opportunity to approach with multiple perspective as a creator, the designer, the director, and performer. All four elements, all four multiple perspectives. Now let me come back to the point how actually you're supposed to approach it practically. So you need to consider performance elements and the production elements. When I talk about the performance elements, you know that we talk about, you think about body language and voice. So when you're considering a body language, you consider whether it's a movement or the actions or gestures or emotions and expressions, right? Your postures, etc. And second thing, if you're considering voice, you consider the pitch, volume, tempo, the audibility, the projection, the intonations, the emotions, how you're conveying through your voice modulation. All these aspects are very important. Okay, now when you are done with the research, you're the best person to decide, considering the theorist theory, what elements best suit in this particular theory for creating your solo theater piece. Okay, now coming to the production elements. So the production elements, like how you're going to use the space, how you're utilizing the set part, the setting and the set design. So it's not that you need to craft something for that, so you can make use of the available resources. How you're going to make use of the light design. Now it doesn't only mean that you're switching on the light and switching it off. If there is a is the aspect has a the component of light design, right, then you need to use it creatively. Maybe you can think about using a different types of lights, be it a Fresnel light or a Parkan light or a flood light, or you may think of using a Foco light or a gobo. So maybe you can use a different colors, considering what character that you're portraying, right? What character that you're performing on stage, being it a solo performance, right? And then you can think about the music pieces, the sound effect that you can utilize. So considering this music, light, and costume also, it should enhance, it should uplift the aesthetic of your performance, right? And before I conclude this introduction, I would like to give you a couple of tips. So when it comes to resources, the primary resources, it needs to be published, right? Published material by the theorists. And the secondary resources, so others who are talking about the theory. So it might be an interview or a published article in a magazine or a forum or a web portal, so who are talking about the theories. Then second thing, when you're talking about actual performance, practically applying the theory, don't make it only superficial. Okay, and don't only keep the aspect in isolation. It needs to be in context with the theory that you are studying, the theatrical theory. And last but not the least, writing your process at every stage is very important, because that will help you when you are writing. The process journal will help you when you're writing your report, your 2500 words report that you're supposed to submit along with your solo theater piece. So I hope this might have give you a good clarity about what solo theatre piece is all about. For more details, please get in touch with your theatre teacher. Wish you all the best. Thank you.